Hi there. This is going to be the first of posts, mostly video posts, about how to write an IELTS essay. In this first post, I'm going to do something slightly unusual. I'm going to sit here, look at my webcam, and tell you a story. This is something I do quite a lot in class. I'm going to treat this like my regular classroom. I like telling stories because stories can be a good way of explaining things, showing things, and looked at the other way, a good way of understanding them. The story I'm going to tell you is about my wife and her experience about taking IELTS. My wife is Romanian, my wife is a doctor, she had to take the exam. Her English is wonderful. I taught her. In the speaking, she got 9. Wow! That's special. Very, very few people get to 9. 9 is native speaker level. Reading and listening, pretty good too. 8.5. Pretty good, no. 8.5 is also wonderful. I would get 8.5, I guess. It means you made 1 mistake, 2 mistakes. And the way the listening and particularly the academic reading work is this. Most IELTS teachers would make a mistake or 2. The only people to get full marks guaranteed are the people who write the exams. This is the point of the story, the writing. She got 7. 7. Now, 7 is not bad. 7 is actually very good. Very few institutions ever ask for more than 7. But there's a big difference, huge difference, between a 9 in the speaking and a 7 in the writing. Ordinarily, normally, we'd expect speaking and writing to be quite close. They're the productive skills. Producing language, they go together. What went wrong? Well, I wasn't there, so I can't know. I didn't mark the exam, but I can guess. Here's my guess. The writing is marked in 4 ways. There are 4 criteria. 1. Grammatical range and accuracy. How well you use the grammar. Do you make mistakes? Also, do you use varied grammar? Wonderful grammar. My wife, she doesn't make mistakes, or if she does, they're very high-level mistakes. No problem. Lexical resource, next one. Well, this is code for vocabulary. If anything, her vocabulary is better than the grammar. She reads a lot. There's a message there. If you want good vocabulary, read. Listen, of course, but read too. It wasn't there, she lost marks. Coherence and cohesion, the next one. Criteria number 3. Coherence and cohesion are the technical bits of essay writing. How well you link things together. Well, my wife has been writing essays all her life, or almost. She wins essays. She wins prizes with her essays. I don't believe she made mistakes there. And this brings us to criteria number 4. And this is one of the messages I want to leave you with this story. Criteria number 4 is called task response. If you look at my blog, you will see that task response means a variety of different things. One of them, and an important part of them, is do you answer the question? It's important because if you don't answer the question, the examiner may take a whole band score. That's a lot from you. And I think this is what happened with my wife. She didn't answer the question. That's point number 1. Point number 2 is an interesting point, for me anyway. Point number 2, this is many, is this. IELTS is not a test of intelligence. And in fact, on my blog, one of the very first posts was called just that, IELTS, it's not a test of intelligence. This is where I think my wife went wrong, or why she went wrong. And I think it may be a mistake other people make too, at different levels. She got into the exam room, saw the question and thought, essay. Let's see how good an essay I can write. She knew as she was going to pass, it would be a challenge to write the best essay possible. How do you write a good essay? Good ideas, of course. That's how essays work, no? No. Actually, that's not how IELTS essays work. And this is message number 2 from this story. IELTS has its own convention. IELTS stands for, or means, International English Language Testing System. It's a test of language, not a test of intelligence. And if you treat it as a test of intelligence, surprisingly, curiously, you may do worse than you expect. And to give you one brief example of this, in the grading criteria, there's nothing for the quality of your ideas. It's all about the quality of your language. And to develop my example slightly, in the planning stage, what you want to do is not waste time on quality of ideas. Yes, you do need ideas. It's not the quality which matters. It's the quality of language. So, when you plan the essay, what you think about is not your ideas, but the vocabulary, the language you're going to use to express those ideas. And that's my second point. And the third point relates to that. Writing an IELTS essay is writing an essay. If you can write an essay, you can probably write an IELTS essay. But IELTS, like almost all exams, has its own conventions, set of unwritten rules. And if you're sensible, before you get to the exam room, you should inform yourself about those conventions and rules. The best place is, in a way, to look on the official IELTS site. But unless you're a teacher, you may not understand everything which is written there. And in many ways, this is what this series of posts is going to be about. It's going to be about giving you a step-by-step approach to understanding those conventions or rules, and then, this is the important part, applying them, showing you how you can write an IELTS essay.